Hello, I'm Nigel Lythgoe, and this is The Enemy Within, the quiz show where one of the contestants has been given the answers. They are the enemy, and if they're not discovered by the end of the show, they will leave with everyone else's money. Let's meet them. Julie Young from Northumberland, Vahid Salih from London, Trisha Elfadowsi from Manchester, Jack Stocken from Doncaster, and Lisa Gatfield from Kent. Now, we've never met each other before now. All we know is that one of you is the enemy. Take a look at the person next to you. That could be your enemy today. They've got the advantage. They've been given the answers. But will they use them? Let's meet our first enemy suspect. Julie Young, you're a retail assistant. Let's see what you said when we asked you, what do you think about people who cheat?
I think they're despicable. They should be strung up. They always seem to get away with it, but in the end, I know that they don't really get away with it, and I know none of my friends would ever cheat or anything like that because they're just too nice of people, really.
Well, you're not with nice people today, Julie. One of them's a cheat, and it could be you. Julie Young. Are you the enemy?
No, Nigel, I'm most definitely not.
Well, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Each one of them is worth £25. If you answer incorrectly or don't know the answer, I will throw it open for a bonus. And remember, it's not just about answering the questions. It's about how others answer their questions that will give you the clues as to who is today's enemy. Let's begin round 1. In 1981, Anthony Andrews played Sebastian Flyte in which TV drama?
Brideshead Revisited.
Correct. Which poet, who lost his sight in 1651, served as Latin secretary in Oliver Cromwell's Council of State?
Don't know.
Throwing it open. It was John Milton. Remember, the enemy knows everything. So the enemy decided not to buzz in then. Unless, of course, Julie, the enemy is you and you decided not to answer me. Of what is toxicology the study?
Poisons.
Correct. Let's move on to our second enemy suspect. Vahid Salih, we asked you, does cheating pay?
Yes, to some degree, I think cheating can pay. If people want to achieve certain goals and reach certain positions of power, leadership, they will have to bend the rules and deviate from the norm. As long as people don't get hurt, of course. And I think everybody has it in them to cheat, and hopefully it does pay off for them.
Well, the enemy certainly has it in them today to cheat, and it will pay off for them if they're not caught. Vahid Salih, are you the enemy?
No way, Nigel.
Your 3 questions, each worth £25. Which Disney film featured the song When You Wish Upon a Star?
Pinocchio.
Correct. In 1957, Olaf V became king of which European country?
Norway.
Correct. U2 bassist Adam Clayton was once engaged to which supermodel?
Naomi Campbell.
Correct. All 3 right, Vahid. Is there any subject you don't know about?
Have to wait and see, Nigel.
I wonder if it's because you've read all of the answers, Vahid.
Maybe.
Maybe. Let's move to our third enemy suspect. Trisha Elfadowsi is a student. Let's see what she said when we asked her, would you cheat to win?
Well, I'm a really good girl. I don't like cheating. I'm not very competitive, but I think if there's a lot of money involved, and especially if I had that opportunity to win it, I would definitely cheat to win.
Well, you've just been very honest. You would definitely cheat to win. I wonder if you'll be honest with me now when I say, Trisha Elfadowsi, are you the enemy?
No, I'm not, Nigel.
Your 3 questions, each worth £25. George Stephenson and his rocket replaced which Iron Duke on the British £5 note?
Don't know.
Throwing it open. Lisa.
Duke of Wellington.
Correct. In 1999, who took over as captain of the England cricket team from Mike Atherton?
Ian Botham.
Throwing it open. Vahid.
Nasser Hussain.
Correct. Which Red Dwarf actor hosts television's Robot Wars?
Craig.
Throwing it open. Lisa.
Craig Charles.
Correct. Well, you played a very clever game there, Trisha, or you didn't know the answers. Maybe you were just trying to put us off. Mention the first name. We know that you know it, but you couldn't quite remember it. I wonder. Let's meet our fourth enemy suspect, Jack Stocken, a professional bridge player. We asked him, has anyone ever cheated you?
Yes, very much so. My brother used to cheat on me when I was younger. We used to play a board game, and he used to mark the cards with pen on the back. I was absolutely furious when I found out because I'd been losing for so long and made to look a fool. Fortunately, I was older than my brother, so I made him run around the garden a few times as penance.
I wonder what penance you'll expect today if you're cheated, Jack. Mind you, it's your job as a contestant to find that enemy. Unless, of course, you're playing another role. Jack Stocken. Are you the enemy?
Nigel, I'm certainly not the enemy.
Your three questions. In 1849, which Bavarian produced his first pair of American jeans? Throwing it open. Lisa?
Levi Strauss?
Correct. Was that a guess or did you know it?
There's a guess.
It was a very good one. Which country was known to the Romans as Caledonia, Jack?
Scotland.
Correct. Which pop musician is a descendant of Herman Melville, author of Moby Dick?
Sting.
Throwing it open. Julie?
Moby.
Moby is right. Let's meet our final enemy suspect, Lisa Gatfield, an administration assistant. We asked her, is cheating acceptable?
I think there are different levels of cheating, and sometimes it can be for the benefit of other people. So, you know, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody and it's not to the detriment of anybody else and it's going to be to their advantage, then cheating's great. So as long as it's painless, then go for it.
Do you think that being cheated out of your money today is going to be painless, Lisa?
I don't think it will hurt very much.
That is, of course, unless you're the enemy. Lisa Gatfield, are you the enemy?
No, I'm not.
Your three questions. For which 1999 film did Kevin Spacey win his Oscar?
American Beauty?
Correct. Grimaldi is the name of the ruling family in which European country?
I don't know.
Throwing it open. Vahid.
Monaco.
Correct. Which DJ is the sister of Keith Cheggers Chegwin? Throwing it open. Julie.
Janice Long.
Correct. Well, that's the end of the round. I'm not going to give you your running totals at this point. Only our viewers at home can see them. What I will tell you is that Vahid is currently the leader. Now, is that because he's clever or is that because he's cheating? You must decide, as must you at home if you'd like to join in, because at the end of the next round we're going to open the telephone lines, and if you think you know who the enemy is, you can call us and possibly win some money, which is more than you might be taking home with you today if you don't spot that enemy. If you didn't pick clues up in round one, let's hope you do in round two, which is a buzz around, and the questions are going to be worth £50. Remember that the enemy doesn't have to buzz in here. They can sit back and let you do all the hard work and steal your money at the end of the game. So you need to focus in order to flush out the faker in round two. Hands on buzzers. Which Australian marsupial feeds selectively on the leaves of the eucalyptus? Jack.
Koala bear.
Correct. What name is given to the small oval board on which an artist mixes colours? Jack.
Palette.
Correct. What is a cummerbund? Lisa.
It's a waistband.
It is a waistband, yes, often worn with a dinner jacket. In the human body, which bone lies parallel to the ulna? Julie.
Radius.
The radius is right. Vahid, you're a scientist. Very slow there.
Too slow, I'm afraid.
Which 80s band became known as OMD? Jack.
Orchestral manoeuvres in the dark.
Correct. Sugarloaf Mountain overlooks which? Vahid.
Rio de Janeiro.
Correct. Who is Zach Starkey's famous... Julie.
Ringo Starr.
He is indeed. What name was given to an illegal drinking den during American Julie.
Speakeasy.
It was indeed. It's almost like you've seen these questions before I've even asked them, Julie.
No, it's definitely not.
Definitely not. You're just very quick on the buzzer, are you?
Yep. At the minute.
Stag and Death Watch are types of what? Jack.
Beetle.
Correct. According to the proverb, what can a leopard never change? Lisa.
It's spots.
Correct. That's the end of that round. I'm still not going to give you your running totals, but I will tell you that Julie is currently our leader. But does that mean she's today's enemy? We're halfway through, and you must be forming some opinions, so let me find out what you're thinking. Julie, who do you think is today's enemy?
Lisa.
Why is that?
It was a question about Levi Strauss. I don't know how she would know the Strauss bit.
Right. Well picked up. Vahid, who do you think the enemy is today?
Well, mine's changed 3 times so far, and I'm going with Julie after that round because of the speed of her answers.
She was very quick. Tricia, you've been very quiet. Who do you think the enemy is?
I think it's Julie. She's got a lot of questions right.
Yeah, but do we think the enemy is going to give themselves away like that? Or are they going to hide like you, Tricia, and not really answer any questions?
We'll have to wait and see.
We will. Jack, who do you think the enemy is?
Julie.
Why?
I think Julie was a bit nervous and she's been very quick on today's questions. I think she's hiding something.
Right. Lisa, who do you think the enemy is and why?
At the moment, I think it's Tricia.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because she's holding back, I think, and she's not really looking around at the others to check their body language, because she doesn't need to.
How are you doing at home, all you armchair detectives out there? Do you think you've spotted something that our contestants haven't done today? Do you think you know who the enemy is? If you do, then give us a call. If you think it's our leader, Julie, then call 0901 383 4141. If you think it's Vahid, then call 0901 383 4142. If you think it's Tricia, then call 0901 383 4143. If you think it's Jack, then call 0901 383 4144. And if you think it's Lisa, then call 0901 383 4145. 5 randomly selected winners will each receive £200. The lines will be open until the end of the quiz, and calls cost 25 pence. We're now going to move on into our third round, which is where I'm going to ask you 3 questions each. Each question is worth £75. However, it's on a specific subject, and your problem is you haven't asked for that specific subject, so quite possibly you won't know any of the answers. Unless, of course, you've seen them. But then, why would you give yourself away so easily? Time is running out now as we go into round 3. Julie, your subject is famous Welshmen. Do you know any famous Welshmen?
Not famous ones, no.
Which member of Welsh band the Manic Street Preachers disappeared on February the 1st, 1995?
Richie.
Throwing it open. Jack.
Richie Richards.
No, Richie Edwards. You knew the Richie, though, Julie, didn't you? You couldn't remember. You'd
No.
seen the answers and you couldn't remember.
No.
Welshman Richard Walter Jenkins Jr. became better known as which great actor?
Richard Burton.
Correct. On October the 27th, 1914, which poet was born in Swansea?
I don't know.
Throwing it open. Lisa.
Dylan Thomas?
Dylan Thomas is correct. Vahid, we move to your specific subject, which is herbs. Which herb is traditionally mixed with onions to make stuffing?
Sage.
That's correct. Sage and onion stuffing. Parsley is high in which vitamin?
C.
Correct. As a scientist, you should have known that, Vahid. According to Hamlet, which is the herb for remembrance?
Well, I've not eaten it. I don't know.
Throwing it open. Lisa.
Basil?
No, it's rosemary. Tricia, we move to you. The Glastonbury Festival is your specialist subject. Have you ever been there?
No.
On whose farm does the Glastonbury Festival take place?
Don't know.
Throwing it open. Michael Eavis was the correct answer, but obviously the enemy didn't want to divulge that answer. A little too difficult. Originally known as the Glastonbury Fair, in which decade did the festivals begin?
60s?
Throwing it open. Jack.
50s.
No, it was the 70s. In 1995, Massive Attack played in which new addition to the event?
John.
Throwing it open. Vahid.
House music.
No, it was the dance tent. And you almost got that out, Tricia, didn't you?
Yep.
Jack, let's move to you. Your specialist subject is circumnavigators. What was the name of the first balloon to go round the world in 1999? Throwing it open. Was the Orbiter 3. Who circumnavigated the globe in the yacht Gypsy Moth 4 between 1966 and 1967?
Was it Blythe?
Throwing it open. Vahid.
Francis Chichester.
It was Sir Francis Chichester. Who disappeared while attempting to circumnavigate the globe by plane in 1937?
Don't know.
Throwing it open. Amelia Earhart was the correct answer. Again, the enemy holds their tongue. Lisa, let's move to you. Beatles films. You're a film fan?
Yeah.
Who directed both Help and A Hard Day's Night?
No idea.
Throwing it open. Dick Lester is the answer. Which of their films won an Academy Award for Best Score?
Yellow Submarine?
Throwing it open.
Hard Day's Night?
No, it was Let It Be. Worth a guess, though, Jack. Geoffrey Hughes provided the voice for which Beatle in Yellow Submarine?
Ringo Starr?
Throwing it open. Julie.
Paul.
It was Paul McCartney. Geoffrey Hughes, of course, played Eddie Yates in Coronation Street. That's the end of that round, and for the first time I can reveal your cash totals and a reminder for those telephone lines, which will close at the end of the next round. Tricia, you have absolutely nothing. Jack, you have £225. Lisa, you have £275. Julie, you have £400. And Vahid, you have £400, which means that Julie and Vahid are joint leaders. Is that because they're cleverer than you? Or is it because they're cheating you? Let's take a moment's pause and just have a look at the characters that you're sitting next to today. Julie has had 6 world cruises. She's in the Pink Flamingo pub quiz team that has been on the QE2 6 times. Julie memorized an eye chart once when she went for a medical exam. She would have gotten away with it if she hadn't have turned around to a coat hanging up on the door and said, "My eyes are perfect," when the nurse was on the other side of her. Vahid Salih, he lies to his friends. He said he was a member of the Ottoman Empire and a multi-millionaire. That's right, Vahid, isn't it? You've told that lie. So, if he's lying to his friends, he would certainly lie to you today. Tricia El-Fadusi, she phoned in sick and told her boss that she was ill because she wanted to get ready all day to go to a friend's party that night at a club. Unfortunately, her boss was at that club. And no matter how many fake sneezes and coughs she gave, he never believed her again. Jack plays bridge at Nasty Nick's club. I wonder if that tells us anything. Whilst coming back from a trip to France, the family had stored all the booze in the back of the car. And in order to get through customs, Jack and his brother had a fight so that the customs man wouldn't stop the car. Lisa Gatfield, I think, is the worst of you all today. She cheated at science when she was at school. She was caught out. All of the answers were written on the ruler and the rubber. The worst thing was, though, she had a friend who wanted everything that Lisa had. So when Lisa had some sweets one day, she substituted laxative for the sweets. This is the type of character you're dealing with here. Any one of you could be today's enemy. I'm soon going to be asking you the most vitally important question of the day. Who is the enemy? You're going to have to give me your decision at the end of this, our final round. For £100 in Cumbria, which site of a nuclear power station? Jack.
Sellafield?
Correct. For £125, what shape is something described as a cruciform? Vahid.
A cross.
It is indeed. For £150, in the Ironman triathlon, competitors must swim, cycle and then run what distance? Vahid.
3 miles.
No, it's a marathon, so it's 26.2 miles. For £150 again, who wrote Boys from the Black Stuff? was Alan Bleasdale. Still for £150 in 1999, which Irish songstress was ordained as a priest? Lisa.
Sinead O'Connor.
Correct. For £175, what sort of creature is a natterjack? Julie.
A toad.
It is a toad. For £200, porterhouse and T-bone are types of what? Jack.
Cheese.
No, it's steak. Surprised you didn't know that, Jack. They obviously don't serve it at your bridge club. For £200, what is an inglenook? Lisa.
Fireplace.
It is indeed. For £225, during World War II, what were blimps? Lisa.
Balloons.
Correct. For £250 in 1980, Beatrix succeeded Juliana as Queen of which European country? Lisa.
Norway.
No, it was the Netherlands. That's the end of today's quiz questions, and of course our phone lines are now closed. Here are your final cash totals. Tricia, you have absolutely nothing. Jack, you have £325. Vahid, you have £525. Julie, you have £575. And Lisa, you have £850, which means that Lisa is today's winner. But that could be the closest any of you come to that money, because the enemy can still steal it from you. The enemy is still within. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to nominate who you believe the enemy is. You must give me a majority decision. If you fail to do so, and there's a split decision, then the audience's vote will be decisive, whether you agree with it or not. It's now time for that audience vote. So, audience, who is the enemy? At this stage, our audience's vote will only be seen by our viewers at home. You've now had a chance to think. All of your hard work so far will be for nothing unless you get the next question right. So, Julie, who is the enemy?
I'm sticking with Lisa.
Vahid, who is the enemy?
I'll go with my original choice, which I thought was Lisa.
Tricia, who is the enemy?
I'm going to stick with Julie.
Jack, who is the enemy?
Julie.
Lisa, who is the enemy?
Julie.
We have a unanimous decision, 3-2. 3 of them point to you, Julie. But are they right? Will the real enemy now stand up? Julie, they are right. Congratulations, contestants. Julie, please sit down. Well done, contestants. You clearly know how to spot a fake. Julie, where did you think you went wrong?
I think it was too fast on the buzz around.
I think so too. I think what happened halfway through when they pointed the fingers at you then, you got very worried.
Yeah.
And you
Very
stopped
good.
scoring. Because you did very well up to that point, and then you just stopped.
Blew it.
You did blow it. Vahid, I would say you're extremely lucky.
I agree.
You didn't spot Julie. You can thank your other colleagues for that.
I will.
But halfway through, you did say Julie, and then you changed your mind.
Yes, for a long time I thought it was Julie, and it was a very close decision at the end. But Lisa looked very cool throughout the whole show, and I was wondering about her motives still.
Well, you've picked yourself up your own £525, plus you take a share of Julie's money, which is another £144, so well done.
Thank you.
Tricia, you did spot Julie.
I'm glad I stuck with my first instinct.
It was.
I noticed that she changed her strategy as well.
You noticed that?
Yeah.
Halfway through?
Yeah.
Well, you were going to go home with nothing. You now pick up £144.
Thank you.
Jack, you spotted Julie?
I did. It was a game of 2 halves for Julie. She was very quick out the blocks the first half and then quiet as a mouse the second.
Did you find that your bridge playing helped you?
Well, definitely. When you put a card table, you're always sussing out people's psychology, the other 3 players, so that certainly helped in this occasion, yeah.
Well, you picked yourself up £325, plus Julie's 144, so you've done reasonably well today. Lisa, all the fingers started pointing at you, but thank goodness Tricia and Jack changed the flow of it, and then you added your vote.
Yeah, I had to. I did notice that Julie had stopped buzzing in, But I thought I need to go with the majority anyway, because if the audience had voted for me, then that would have been it.
Right. And you were today's winner with £850 as well. Well, congratulations. You are going to go home now with what you deserve, which is Julie's money. Well done to you all, contestants. Julie, not only did the contestants figure you out today, but so did our audience.
Oh.
So you didn't play a good game.
No.
And you go home with what you deserve, because you have not been a good cheat. We gave you the questions and you still blew it.
I know.
Well, you know what you take home today? Absolutely nothing. Well, how did you get on at home? Did you spot Julie like our contestants today and like our audience? Do you think you'd make a good detective? Or do you think you'd make a better enemy than Julie? If you do, then why not write to us at this address? The Enemy Within, Post Office Box 22122, London SE1 9GL. And please include a stamped self-addressed envelope. Well, that's all for now. Julie was discovered by our contestants and our audience today, and I'm sure that 5 of you out there spotted her as well. It just goes to show, if you're going to cheat, don't get caught. And always remember, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. See you next time.